All right, guys. Speaking with my avatar to start it off and kick it off, okay? Why? Because, hey, it's fun, man. I mean, check me out, okay? Do I look like a regular person? I'm not a regular person. What's up? It's Uncle Makara back at it again with another video, man. Let's get started. I hope you enjoyed this series, and we are at day 6, okay? We're at day 6. So it's going to be exciting. Today is 6/9, by the way, so don't get any ideas, okay? Um, we're about to go into Friday, and it's Friday, okay? Now, what do we do in this Friday? I think it's very important for us to understand that Friday for us means this Venus energy, right? We're also going to get our cards read. Thank you, Crystal, for that. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting time for us all. And we're tapped in, we're chimed in, man. I think I might have to get my charger because I'm on low battery and I don't want this to run out randomly. So I will be right back. As I'm getting back to this, I want you to think of an animal that you can be when you're social. Think of the most social animal that you know and how you can tap into that energy. I'll be right back, okay? Just wait. All right. The plug. Okay, cool. So have you guys thought of your social animal? Okay, the one that came up for me actually was very an interesting one. It was the playfulness of the bonobo monkey. Okay. The playfulness, the hippie side of the bonobo is what came up for me randomly. Okay. Now I don't know what you guys think of that or what you chose for your own animal. Okay. Let me just edit the settings so you guys can comment. Is there a way to permanently say that this is not for kids? Like, I don't know if there's like a way to do that or I have to keep doing this each time. But let's see here. Okay, cool. Now I have the live chat open, sharing with the tribe. Okay, cool. So what are a few social codes before going out? Okay. We got to understand a few things. Everything will unfold as it should. Okay. Don't overthink the night. Don't overplan the night. Don't be like, oh, it's gonna go exactly like this, and then we're gonna go to this place, and then after that, we're gonna go there, and then it's gonna work out like that. That spontaneity is then going to be lost if you decide that. Okay. So just go out with the intention of having fun, first and foremost. Okay. That's baseline. And if you can do that, then the rest should be pretty swift. Okay. Pretty swift if you really look at it. Now, if you look at people in the eyes, you might notice that certain people they zone out. They're not even there. They're not even present, right? They're like shadow people or like these dense zombie bodies, almost in a sense of you know the scene that came up for me, bro? Let me show you. Hmm, where is it? Um, is this the one? No. This guy is inspiring because I see the humor that can be applied to his situation. I don't know if you guys have ever heard or seen Avan, the actor. This is him in Zombieland 2. Okay. Let me speed it up.
Namaste.
It's my message to you.
Okay, this guy.
You said Berkeley?
Yes.
The
guitar.
Like a rolling.
Let's see here.
But this is mucho better.
Oh, like those ancient hanging gardens.
Huh?
Of Babylon.
No, it's named for that cool David Gray song. Man, I wish I'd written that line.
All right, hand them up.
Okay.
You're from Berkeley? Chances that we're both from Berkeley. I got nothing. I'm just a songwriter.
Was it Berkeley?
Yeah. God.
Oh my god, they're gonna die.
Okay. Got it. Got it. There's a specific scene that I zoomed in on, which is Berkeley, and then that where you're like, well, who's Zoe Deutsch plays, okay? So anyway, let's get tapped in today. So what I was saying earlier, man, you know, the whole idea of when people zone out, when you look at their eyes, it shows kind of that you're in a lower suppressive state, right? That they're in a lower suppressed state, and it's difficult for them to access gratitude from that paradigm. Correct? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Look, when a person is so constricted and all they're looking at is their own experience and what they're experiencing in their own world, you're going to feel contracted and socially anxious. Okay. You're not going to be able to network. You're not going to be able to throw out a compliment. You're not going to be able to do all of these other things. Now, why do we talk and stress about yoga, meditation, and all of these things? It gives you more of a full body awareness than this mental headiness. Okay. And that's why when you just meditate daily, right, even if it's minimal, even if it's just like 5 minutes a day, you will still notice the benefits of you tapping into this. Now, it could even be that you take a 5 minute gratitude walk, right? Or you can do a dance session, or maybe you use your gym as a meditation session. That's fine too. But again, sitting down in complete silence and just closing your eyes, just allowing whatever needs to come out, right? It's going to rise and bubble up in your mind to the surface. And all you have to do is just watch them like clouds in the sky, right? Each thought is like a cloud in the sky. Now, I want you to change it based on your craft. So if you are an electrical engineer, you imagine these are like car parts or something in your mind. Or I don't know, if you're a social media influencer, you imagine these are like a little speech bubbles or like little text messages or something. I don't know. If you are a martial artist, you can imagine that these are like these thoughts are like different opponents coming up, right? And different moves or something. So change the visualization of clouds in the sky according to what you truly prefer. Okay, this is my red light therapy lamp. Okay. Just had it here yesterday. I was tapping in. All right, so the throat chakra to the solar plexus to the throat chakra, right? The ability to actually say things directly or indirectly. It's going to be important for you to reflect on these things, right? Like, are you more so indirect with your communication style? Do you say things in a more roundabout way, hoping that people will guess and understand you? Or are you actually very clear and direct in the way that you communicate, and you know your needs and you know your wants, and you state them very upfront? And you don't do it, it's not out of pocket the way it sounds, right? It's very upfront. My only advice to you, if you go super direct, you got to be a little bit dismissive, just because it adds that edge, adds that little bit of that calibration towards that, right? Now, when you are in a disempowered state, like let's say when you're addicted to a drug, you are actually feeding that trauma energy, you're fueling it because it's resonating at the vibration of that particular thing that you're addicted to. Okay. So when you're in this state, you got to understand that others can also get into the state. And you are not the only one. You are not alone. Okay. So a lot of people will give you very generic advice, right? Like just be yourself, just we always say this too, but like have good character, be a good person, it'll all work out. But isn't that simple when you want to get an outcome like that? Like let's say you want to get more money, or you want to have a good life, or you want to be, you know, ecstatic in bliss. You got to make that your state of being. You get what I mean? So getting riled up is still higher consciousness than apathy. Get this, right? This is why a lot of videos they go, what's the point anymore? They all lied to you anyway. They're blame the government, blame everybody else. Do it this way. This is the old narrative is never gonna work for you. You gotta feed your demons, you gotta harness them, you gotta break through the pain. Okay? Listen, man, memories are state dependent, right? So if you keep hearing all that hustle talk and you're not hustling, it's going to create more resistance to you hustling. And listen, different things work for different people at different stages of the journey. So for somebody who's very completely in their own ego and absorbed by it, and they're like in that egoic state, right? You got to understand that that person, if I tell them love yourself, speak louder, it doesn't really resonate with that, right? They're like, what do you mean? I speak loud, So advice works for different people at different stages of the journey. This is also why when you hear a guru, you'll sometimes hear them contradict themselves with two pieces of different information. Okay. This happens primarily because they're speaking to different people at different levels of their journey. Okay. Everybody's on a different area of the hero's journey. And some people have broken through the hero's journey, and now they're on a king's journey or a god's journey, or we say David's journey, or they're on a different journey, right? A different path work, different way. Now, a lot of people, when they're very contractive of these higher paradigms, or they don't even want to consider that there could be angelic, light positive energies supporting them, it actually is another form of like constriction in a way. And them getting riled up is much more inspiring to them in a lower state of awareness than, something like gratitude, which is more difficult to see from a very contracted state of mind. Now, you can reframe things, but remember, when you reframe things, you reframe them based on the mood that you are speaking from. So if you're in a sad mood, I'm always in a mood, okay? If you're in a sad mood and you are hearing some piece of information and you're reframing it, you're going to reframe it back into the mood of sadness. Okay? So that means the first thing is state acceptance and amplification of a good positive vibe, right? State acceptance, hey, I feel tired, but I can fucking stretch my body around. I can be a weirdo a little bit. I can relax. I can, give myself more space. I don't have to do it like this. I get to do it like this. I choose to do it like this. Just changing your language is as simple as opening that energy up. So it's not so constricted in these little tiny pockets of your experience. Okay. So when you're experiencing a social interaction, you got to understand that your memories are state dependent and you reframe things based on mood. I would honestly say think less and be more aware, okay? When you are more aware and you are in your own awareness, you are completely in your full body. You're very embodied, right? And when you were thinking, you're very much up here and all the excess energy is going up here. And so all you're seeing is through a coping lens, right? Instead of a thriving lens. Like a lot of people, they focus on their own survival and victim mentality. And they wear that pair of goggles to see the world. They see the world through the trauma goggles instead of actually experiencing it as it is, right? So a lot of people, they look inwards when they come to communicate. This is where introversion happens, is you're not actually pushing out the words. Like, you know how animals push the words out? Caw, or rah, right? They go out with their communication. Humans go inward. So that's why you have to tap into the beast, because the beast just speaks, man, right? He just goes for it. And I think there's something very powerful to that energy. Okay. Now, if you keep having all of these different things that you have to micromanage in your head, you can't be free and loving. Okay. If you're thinking, nah, I might be too rude, or maybe I'm casting too wide of a shadow, or perhaps I'm offending these people and they're not gonna like me if I do this, and I don't know if I should go there. And if you have all of these thoughts in your head, you're still in that contracted state. So what you want to do is what is appropriate in this context that is beyond me, okay? Beyond my own narrative. So you have to actually put yourself in the brains, the bodies, and the minds of others, okay? You're going to have to see what that means and what it looks like. If you're judging somebody else and you're going, what the fuck is that, right? Understand. It might be helpful for someone in a certain paradigm to be like that or say what they're saying, right? And so when you think that the party is judging you, right, you're almost partially confronting nature or Prakriti itself, right? You're being told by the environment, by nature, that you are not good enough. So you feel like you're an outcast, an outlaw, antisocial, okay? Antisocial personality traits, rather than what? Being open, being free, being communicating and connecting, okay? And this is easier said than done, because once we are actually in a venue and you're, in front of somebody and you're like intimidated by their presence or something, it doesn't really, this kind of information goes out of your head, right? All the stuff you learn in these videos, they're not going to be there in those moments. So what you need to do in those cases, you need to tweak. You need to have a good relationship between mind, body, spirit in these moments. So all you've got to do is understand how your body is reacting as you're moving through, how your mind is reacting, and how your spirit is responding by giving you the different insights, downloads, and so forth. That's all you need to focus on. Forget the rest, leave it at home, okay? Have some training wheels of little things that you say. Have at least one thing that you say when you open a conversation with someone, okay? At least have that, and then you can flow with the rest and use situational openers and all this kind of stuff, right? And also look at other people, okay? Look at other people. When you can look at other people, you can actually sense their energy. And you can almost sense like what is right with them, what is not so effective with them, right? You get it, and you get what they need, and you get what they're trying to say at times if you're misunderstanding them, and you really listen, right? But what happens is a lot of people just zone out, right? We do this. We zone out. We got into our own world, right? We constantly need to check our phones, right? That ability for you to just say, wait a minute, I'm getting an urgency to pick up my phone and check it right now, but I'm not going to, actually. I'm going to turn my phone off tonight. And only by the end of the night, when I'm heading out, I might take a couple pictures. I might, do certain things that align me with the energy of the actual night. So what if I can just turn my phone off, okay, when I enter the venue? And during the end of the night, you turn it back on, okay? And then you can take photos, you can take videos of the venue, you can whatever else you want, okay? If that's what you want to do, okay? For me, everything is content, okay? So if I'm going out, I'm not just going out to go out, I'm going out to add value to you guys, okay? I will go out sometimes just to have fun. That's not like, I'm not like that 24/7, but I do have that mentality of like, it's gotta match my purpose. I'm not gonna just do this just to do this. It's got to match the narrative and the purpose that I'm creating for myself. Okay? And if somebody else doesn't like me or doesn't, vibe with my personality, I know that I'm not for them. That's completely valid, but I might change somebody's life that night, and you don't even know that, right? You could say hi to somebody and completely shift their worldview, completely shift their mindset, right? Just by a brief encounter with you. So really think about it, right? You can reach a social hook point, maybe a sexual hook point, but can you reach a hook point spiritual? Can you hit the spiritual hook point? Okay. Can you go beyond the realm of, oh, this is just a conversation and we're two people having this conversation? Can you go beyond that? Okay. Can you move it there? Now, they might not be so accepting to weird, vague, amorphous ideas like that in the beginning, but you can get a sense from somebody. Okay. How deeply connected or depth that they have as a character in this video game of life, you can tell. Okay. Do they just go out and get fucked up on coke every night and that's their life, right? Or do they go out to engage and create something that is a memory that starts to adapt the framework of how they're living? I mean, really, it's a waste of time to go out and just try to use people as cannon fodder and like, say hi to lots of people and then come out like even people you don't find attractive and random people like that. Like you can just to get the ball rolling and use it as momentum or whatever, but don't make that the main thing, right? But again, even when it's very indirect, right? So when you're in a group, you want to engage everybody in the group, right? This is what I used to do back in the day is I used to just say hi to one person and then they used to kind of go and they block me off and then they're back into the group and then I got blocked out of that convo, right? But if you go into a group and you say, hey, how do you guys know each other? What's going on here, right? How's everybody doing tonight, right? It opens the group up and then there's like a flux of new energy, right? That is emerging because you have the energy of them, you also have the energy of the friend, and there's usually somebody who's like a mother hen in the group or a father hen or whatever you want to call it, right? There's usually somebody who's very protective, let's just say, of their friend circle, who's kind of leading the night or whatever, right? So you got to first of all establish who's the leader, right? In a certain dynamic like that, right? If you go to a new job place or whatever, you know who the boss is and you know the higher ranks, right? And you know the different ranks of people. And you'll notice that the rank reflects the persona, right? Their personality gets affected by the rank. But then you met this one dude who's like, maybe he's just working in the copy room or whatever, and he's just like, photocopying documents. But he has a certain aura about him, right? You've also seen that, right, as an example. But a general rule would be that you adopt the role that you are doing, that you're stepping into, right? So if you're more so a technical person, you got to demonstrate that technique through your beingness and your living, your life, right? If you're a more creative person, you got to exude that creativity through your own beingness, okay? It's very simple, but it's difficult to pull off because if you're not used to it, you're gonna get shut down a couple times and then go home with your head down, okay? That's not what I want you to do. Whenever you make a certain social interaction with anybody, make sure that in your mind, it's like 10,000% awesome, right? Like in your mind, you did the amazing thing. You did like a feat of excellence. So you almost want to congratulate yourself afterwards, right? Oh, it was a pleasure meeting you. They don't even know I'm a dragon in a past life, right? Move on, right? Next one. Then you say it to somebody else, and then you're like, maybe you're dancing with them a little bit, right? Oftentimes, dance floor game is just body language, right? So it's just like Get comfortable being around others. Okay. Get comfortable in spaces where there's more than one person. Okay. A few things to know. One, if you're an adept, listen to the socializing file. I'll record a guided meditation for you guys to listen to before you go out. Number one. Number two, one visualization you want to do is you want to imagine the worst version of you shrinking on your left hand and best version of you growing on the other hand. Okay. And as the worst version has disappeared, you bring your palms together, you generate some chi, some prana, some heat, some mana, some orgone, and you simply take that energy and put it over your body where you need it. Okay, just hit your body with that energy, with that heat. Okay, you can even put it in your heart space, or if you have a dominant chakra, you can put it there. Okay, that's number two. Number three, have some groundedness practices. So when I'm sitting down there not feeling energy, I'll get like a little coffee outside or whatever, right? Or if I'm feeling a bit in my head, I'll wiggle my toes in the venue. Like I just wiggle them, right? Bring it all the energy down. Okay. And then another one is to notice how your body leans in and back, right? And it's usually the pelvis region that's more yin and yang, yin and yang. So if you're getting closer to them with your pelvis, it's more yin. And if you're going backwards like that, it's more yang. Okay. Now you don't have to remember all of these things. Again, it happens very organically if you just observe your body language, right? What do you do? Okay. Like for instance, my body's sore as fuck from the gym, right? So that's going to come across in my body language a little bit, right? So I might even just have fun with it, exaggerate it a little bit, like, ah, don't touch me there, okay? My abs are burning, okay? She'll probably touch it again if you tell her not to touch it, right? It's like that's kind of how human psychology works at times, or reverse psychology works. Anyway, don't touch me, but keep touching me, okay? It confuses the brain, right? You're like, what? Wait, what? What did you just say? Right? Hey, stop touching me, but don't stop touching me, you know? So you got to create this fun atmosphere internally. That's the fourth one, right? It's the internal chameleon. So if you're blue inside, you turn the environment blue. You don't match the environment of red people and then you try to become red inside. You're not going based on somebody else's framework of the vibe, but you are mirroring people and you're understanding that they are a reflection of you too. Okay. So whoever comes up to you, whoever approaches you, you know, usually weird guys come up to me and they're always like, hey man, what's going on? Whoa, right? And I'm always like a threat to the bouncer or like some other person there, especially if I'm like talking to girls, bro. In India, there's a huge like kind of weird stigma around that I feel that even if you're just at a mall talking to girls, like the security guards get jealous or whatever. I don't know what the fuck goes on, right? Or they just go, you can't be doing that here. Like what, talking to people? What the fuck you mean? Can't be doing that here. Right? It's like the censorship and the PC culture has gotten so much that you're just terrified of just talking to someone, bro. Like, have you just thought about how ridiculous that shit is? Right? Here you are sitting in the corner, like just fuck, man, you know, stressing about Me Too movement, like fucking with your head down in a couch somewhere, you know, you'd rather play Scrabble or something, right? With a good group of friends, but here you are like forcing yourself to go out. Fuck, right? That's not a helpful paradigm to go. So the way you want to think about it is like I'm going out and it's a simulation, it's a fun experiment for the night, right? This is what we learned from Zen Gift, by the way. Shout out to him. We gotta understand that this is a complete illusion of a night, okay? A complete separation from what is the norm, right? Just go out there, you know, have fun, drink if you want to, not too much, okay? Again, you got to calibrate it, right? Modify your state of mind, okay? So usually it's a good idea for women to dance when they pregame. Just a very feminine dance, not like a dance, right? It's more of a dun, 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 like a sitar playing type of dance. Then you'd undulate. Men do push-ups, do more strong strength-based movements before you go out. Just a couple of push-ups, you know. What else? Have a playlist for the night of 3 or 4 songs that you play before, like if you're in the car headed to the venue or whatever, or you're driving, you just play it, you have that ready. Okay. So it transitions from this song to this other song to I'm a motherfucking starboy to ending with this other song, right? So you got to understand where it is that you, by the way, guys, do you notice my facial symmetry better? Okay. I did a ritual last night, glamour magic one, so it's working, I think. Anyway, so when you do go out, right? First of all, you got to get your energy up, man. For some reason, we've been getting super tired, and I think it's because it's a hormonal thing, honestly. Okay. And as you get older, you do get tired, more cranky, energies affect you. It's normal, right? It's a part of growing older, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to get used to it. But you can do things to energize yourself, of course. And if you have an underlying medical condition, it might be affecting that energy too. Because I've noticed my energy being a little bit like still in maintenance mode, but that's also because I'm doing a fuck ton of healings for people, and like, you know, I'm like going out of my way to help others, you know, because I really do love this craft and I want to, you know, it's my choice again. So yeah, that's my own personal understanding of it. And again, you got to forgive yourself, bro. Like if you haven't forgiven yourself, you need to forgive yourself. Okay. Because if you do not forgive yourself for whatever it was, right, messing up in the past, you never want to be like an us versus them mentality when you're going out. You always want it to be like us with us, not versus. There's no versus here, right? There's not a competition with other people that you're trying to like compete with others in that social like battlefield. Like that's why I find it so strange when you call it sarging, bro. Like what the like you're a military guy going out? Like, bro, what about having fun and just chilling and like, you know, being a priest beast? You know, would it be a highly integrated man or woman, right? Priest or priestess beast going out is very different than the regular, you know. I think I should wear this hat because it'll make me look cooler in front of all of these people, right? Wear your cool hat, but you don't got to talk about it. Just do you, man. Just go for it, right? Show people what you're doing. Show people who you are. A lot of people don't know who you are. They know you based on your first impression, right? Listen, man, listen. So somebody walking into your store, right? Let's say you have a store, right? They're leaving your store, going, thank you, have a nice day. Great. That's number one. Number two, the person is like, I hope you have a fantastic day, sir. I know you're gonna crush it, whatever you do. What do you do for work again? Oh yeah. Best of luck with that, man. Much love. What if somebody said that in the store? Bro, I want to keep coming back to that store just to talk to that guy, man. You guys get how powerful that little thing is? All they did was just get out of apathy and give a little bit more extra, right? It's like the you know the nerdy student in class who always does above and beyond and like does research outside of the subject field, right? That's who you have to be, but in the social dynamics field. You get what I mean? Go above and beyond than just normie others, you know, generic convos, mediocre timestamps of the night. Okay? Amplify, give it more. Be you 2.0. Okay? And this will help you and save you a lot of time. And again, Don't approach anybody you're not really looking towards forming a connection with, really. Okay. You will notice, and I usually approach people who like me and like my energy and resonate with that, right? So I'm always constantly observing and looking for that, right? And I will actually, bro, I will muscle test in the club, no doubt, no doubt. If I'm like, should I approach her? No, I don't. I'm not going to waste my time because my time is very valuable and a lot of people need my time, right? They need my time in order for their own healing journeys to activate. So that means I'm not going to waste time just sitting there thinking and being inwards and being heady, right? I'm going to start moving around, go to the dance floor, boom. Immediately after I get a drink, I kind of pace the environment around. Usually I'm the first one on the dance floor, bro. Nobody fucking does anything here, right? Until late into the night when everybody's drunk, then they get on the dance floor. It's like, bruh, just fucking move, right? Like, what is this lethargy here? Like this kind of laid back, I don't wanna, mama. Don't push me into the swimming pool, right? What is this fucking attitude, man? When did life get so grueling like that? You know, it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, you've made it that way. So make it fun, right? Just make it. I mean, I'm saying it in that way because it's like it's funny, you know? So having a sense of humor and comedy when you go out, we might have to do a comedy masterclass too. But just knowing like a punchline usually has a surprise, right? It twists your brain a little bit. That's why you laugh because you're like, you didn't expect it, right? So actually having no expectations is actually a great thing because you end up being funnier because you're more spontaneous and things just end up working and the right jokes just fall into your lap from your intuitive mode, right? You just don't need to think about it. You just pull concepts from the sky, almost in a sense. Okay, you're etheric in that sense. So, I mean, we have no shame, right? Me and Ryan G going out when we were in Costa Rica, we started talking like we were mystical shamans, and we own that. You know, we really own that. And bro, we had like strippers wanting to get our numbers, right? And you're not allowed to get numbers in that club. Do you guys get how potent that is to be a character like that and coming in to a venue where women are telling me like Indian guys don't look like you, don't sound like you, you are an anomaly, right? Do you know how empowering that is and a reference experience like that is? Because again, once you know, like I would have never known that if someone hadn't told me, right? So yes, there's a minor racism of like, yeah, you're pretty good looking for an Indian guy or whatever, right? It's like, I get that, right? That you don't have to buy into that because again, people aren't used to seeing, maybe they are used to seeing Indians, but some places it's like not as common, I guess. Or there's less, you know. But Indians are everywhere, bro. You go to Wichita, you see an Indian guy, okay, so very normal, right? And I am in India, and this is Bharat, right? It's about splendor. It's about the splendor of sensuality. That's what it means, bro, right? So I'm not gonna live like this kind of washed out, diluted life, right? I don't want to. You want to get to this point where you're like, man, I really want to engage with people to find out what's cool about them and how they can serve me in my own journey. What if you made a contact with somebody, right? And you ended up getting a discount on your next service or whatever, right? Or you ended up getting like a random breakthrough as you met somebody, right? You realized something you hadn't realized. Or what if you started to look at people as mythical characters and understand? I actually know this and I understand this. They're real life fucking goblins in that nightclub, right? There's real life harpies, uh, fairies, sirens, Garudas, Nagas, uh, angels, okay? Demons, I'm sure there's lots of demons in the club, okay? So you got to go in, right? You got to go in and just be like that character that just walks in and knows that they're there to get their mission done, right? Just walk in with a purpose in the video game and knows that there to get things done, right? They're like create a vibe, engage with it, see what it's about. And if it isn't resonating, what do? You leave the venue. You go out, you go for a break, you walk around a bit, and then you go back in. Okay. You don't stay in one place for too long. That's what I've observed. Okay. You can, and you can just be like an observer then. You just become a bystander. And the bystander effect takes over where there's even a fight in the club and you're just like, you're just observing, right? You're just watching it go down instead of doing anything, saying anything, right? A lot of people have this, and this is an effect, unfortunately, of a lot of individuals who are wallflowers, and that used to be me. When I was in my college campus, I remember in the first few times, I was just a wallflower. I was just standing there, with my drink in my hand, just waiting. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say, right? Of course, I had the strengths and the gimmicks and all that stuff, but it didn't feel right, you know? Like something seemed off. And I think what was off is I was so in my own bubble with my own reality that it's me versus the world. It's that thing. So the moment I dropped that and just put my drink towards the side and understood my central channel can relax and flow, right? We only tense up when there's threat or danger. A lot of people are carrying fight or flight or trauma energy when they're out, you know? However, you can't let that get to you because that's not there for your journey. Like you don't have to go with what everybody else is doing either, right? You can create your own path, and I'm living proof. I'm an embodiment of that. Okay, that you can lead your own path. You don't constantly have to superimpose and you know copy someone else's way that they socialize. Have you ever had a cool friend, right, who just gets all the ladies and he's just like tapped in, right? And they have certain mannerisms, and then you try to copy those mannerisms, you get some good results, but then again you can't sustain it. Why? Because it's not yours. They are not your mannerisms. They do not come from you. They come from an imprint in somebody else that you've observed do that. So there's a social dynamics term game, hand of God, where you just take their hand and you spin them, and then you put it around you here, something like that, right? And a lot of people, they're like, oh, I need to perfect this technique. I need to get the hand of God correct. It's like a video game. They're stressing about life like it's a fucking game that they're stuck on the level, right? Whereas you need to be like the person who like uses the fucking walkthroughs in the video game and like actually sees things from different angles, right? You understand that this thing is entirely metaphysical, right? Like all of these, when you're going out, if you just see the entire venue, right, as atoms vibrating, it's going to change your game. Why? Because it simply is. Your perception has changed. Okay. Yo, true about the Indian guy statement. Yeah. So that's another thing, man. We have to break that stereotype. But then again, I think a lot of times what you got to do is you got to simply have some accountability, and you got to know that your guides have your back. Okay. You got to know your guides have your back. So have a social animal in mind. Okay. It's very good to have a social animal in mind. I chose the bonobo monkey. Okay. Because that allows me to be more playful and allows me to actually change and morph into my more playful hippie Avanjogia style, of that essence. So I'm tapping into that. I'm revealing that I am doing that and I've been inspired by that. So that's what I'm leaning into, man. It's difficult to find role models for me to look up to because they aren't exactly the way that I want it. Maybe I'm picky with my role models. You know what I mean? So you can't be so picky like that. You just got to look at multiple ones and take the best aspects of each, right? And create your own uh supernova, like, puzzle pieces of all of these epic people into this incredible, higher self dimensional being or whatever. Let's pull some fake cards to understand what's most important for us to know in terms of socializing. This card, yes. Okay. It just says positive changes are on the way. So, a welcome relief from troubled times. So there's going to be some relaxation. So just reward yourself, for all your hard work. I think cherish the time that you spend alone and with others, Don't just cherish one and not the other. I think that's another thing that we need to learn. As well as another thing that came up was being self-sufficient, letting go of people. Oh, I love this one. Check this out. The Queen of Winter. Strong, patient, self-sufficient, funny. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career. Okay. Yeah, and then it just says unmarried or divorced individuals. Full stop. Okay. So I don't know what that means, but maybe they're referring to those people. Let's see one more. Awakening. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Very important. Okay. And look at this imagery. Let me show you this. Let me just get up a bit. I'm gonna show you. Okay. So it's like a hanged man almost. He's hanging on a yin yang. Isn't that interesting? And he has fairy wings too. You should have wings when you go out as a visual. Automatically, all you guys. You got to have wings when you go out. Okay. The next thing is it says here, embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in the action. So awakening in this perspective is a change in perspective, is a differing of the way that you see something. Okay, so that's powerful too. Any other questions, guys? Anything coming up for you? Anything that you want to know? Let me know. All right, all right. Okay. So one thing I've noticed is there's kind of a frozen energy that takes us over when we don't know what to say or do, and we kind of get into like a kind of contracted state. Especially if we're in a new venue or somewhere where we don't know the place or know the people, we do get a little bit, our horse blinders or fear receptors start sparking. Okay. What you want to view this as is I've been to this venue before in a past life or another timeline. So it doesn't seem familiar to me, but this place I know like the back of my hand. This is a distant, foggy memory, a deja vu of mine that I left behind. But now the amnesia is removing, right? Like the story of Shadow Knuckles we discovered, right, Ryan G? Man, right? What a powerful storyline, huh? Dr. Robotnik's aunt or whatever. What is that? Okay, so let's look up the storyline of Shadow Knuckles. Okay. Asking ChatGPT. So, in a world where chaos and order are in constant battle, Shadow Knuckles emerges as a legendary figure. He's born in the shadows of a forgotten realm, and he was a warrior of unmatched skill, trained in dark arts and of stealth and combat. Yet, Shadow Knuckles wasn't driven by power or glory. He was well, he was a hedgehog burdened by a curse. Every victory, hold on, okay. So I think it's just saying it generally like a Shadow Knuckles ChatGPT, but I think I want to actually get the storyline, actual storyline. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so in the world of Mobius, where Sonic the Hedgehog and his friends protect the planet from Dr. Robotnik's evil schemes, a new hero emerges from the shadows, Shadow Knuckles. This mysterious version of Knuckles, uh, the Echidna was created by Dr. Robotnik as a part of a dark experiment to make the ultimate warrior. So Shadow Knuckles was designed to be a more powerful, ruthless version of the original Knuckles, with all his strength, but none of his kindness. Okay, he's like a ruthless version, okay, of Knuckles. Initially loyal to Dr. Robotnik, Shadow Knuckles carried out missions to defeat Sonic and his friends. However, deep down, he felt something wasn't right. As he battled Sonic and his allies, he began to question his purpose. Was he just a tool for evil, or could he forge his own path? As the story unfolds, Shadow Knuckles discovers the truth about his origins. Let's pull up an imagery so we see him. Okay. Okay. So, where was I? To be programmed by Dr. Robotnik. Okay. Torn between his programmed loyalty to Dr. Robotnik and his desire to do the right thing, Shadow Knuckles makes a fateful decision. He chooses to break free from Dr. Robotnik's control and joins forces with Sonic to stop the evil scientist's plan to conquer Mobius. In the final showdown, Shadow Knuckles faces Dr. Robotnik, the one who created him. And Dr. Robotnik tries to manipulate him, reminding him of his dark origins, but Shadow Knuckles stands firm, realizing he is more than his past. This is the moral. This is the lesson. I'm going to go into the socializing moral in a second, but with Sonic's help, he defeats Dr. Robotnik, saves the day. Okay. So Shadow Knuckles' journey teaches us that our past doesn't define who we are. Really let that sink in. That was then, now is now is a good mantra for you to have. Okay. That was then, now is now. That was then, now is now. That was then, now is now. Okay. And he also masters what? Emerald. Okay. Chaos control, as we posted in our latest meme. Guardian of the Master Emerald. Think about it. Okay. There's a code here. Shadow Knuckles' journey. Okay. Even if others try to label us or push us in a certain direction, we have the power to choose our own path. Okay. And let's just see anything here that's interesting. No. Okay. So by embracing our individuality, in making our own choices, we can form genuine connections with others and contribute positively to the world around us. So just like you've been in your villain arc with Shadow Knuckles, it doesn't mean you have to tap into your past all the time. Use the dark fuel of your past to defeat the evil scientists that tried to create you. Okay? The programmers, sometimes your own parents, okay? Sometimes the teachers, sometimes negative social conditioning, sometimes bullies, right? Whoever that is, you got to understand it. You got to take your power back over it. Okay? The shipping begin. What is all this? Anyway. Okay. So now that we understood that, what's coming up for you guys? I'm interested to know if there's any newness, novelty, or an understanding of this. No? Where is everybody today, man? What the fuck are you guys doing? Um, Everybody is probably doing their own thing on a Friday, huh? Okay, so first things first, before you go out, do the energy work, do some social, so look up if there's any Reiki for socializing, okay? Or social anxiety or anything like that, right? Just look up any Reiki for that. Next, put yourself into a very attractive state, okay? Buy something which can be very nice and good smell, okay? Something very nice to smell, a nice perfume, nice jewelry. Feel good and comfortable when you're going out. Don't feel like I'm in this like kind of a clown costume type thing, right? A lot of the times we feel like that we're trying to peacock or out peacock, but just go in there, just smooth, clean, looking like you're at the set of a movie. That's how you want to look, right? You want to look like you're an extra at the set of a movie. That's kind of a go-to, like a baseline. And remember, it's your movie because nobody can play you. We were talking about that yesterday, right? Or the day before. So yeah, man, such a code, such an important code because if you try to do it like if you try to socialize like somebody else who's a social coach or whatever, and you use all of their gestures, all of their lines, all of their, tactics, and you lose that spark, that initial, spontaneity that you can carry within yourself and just speak from the heart authentically, you know, just really connecting with people from the heart space. You can understand that it's going to be a very different interaction, right? When you're coming from your heart space and speaking to people, or you're coming from like a lower, like root chakra energy, right? There's a big difference actually in the way that you interact. Okay. Now, of course, you want to have that good feeling through your body, right? But you can't let this world kind of move you and tempt you, especially the energies of like toxicity, from the environment. Can't let that affect you because you're in a hazmat suit in a sense. Okay. Whatever hate, whatever negativity, whatever anger that you sense in that environment, it has nothing to do with you. Just hear that again. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with where your focus is at. Okay. So if you think that I'm not good enough, other people will judge me, you will carry that energy within you. And that's what will end up happening. However, what if you could feel different? What if others are judging themselves more than they're judging you? What if you go out one night, stop thinking about yourself, think less, and be more aware of what's going on around you, what's really here. Enjoy the music, enjoy the drinks, enjoy whatever is there, okay? Even if you're at a work social you're going out with your work colleagues or whatever, or you're going somewhere with particular attention to, vibe, just vibe and listen to music. If you're going there, you got to understand, how do I tap into the novelty of the moment, right? Everybody's just trying to be a copy of a copy, okay? Even James Dean tried to copy Marlon Brando and so forth, right? So it's like, it's really that you got to tap into your own skill set, because your skill set, there's nobody else who has the same skills as you. No way. Okay, if you've worked on a skill, a high income skill for many, many years, right? And you've been refining it, refining it, refining it, refining it, refining it. After a while, it's just second nature to you. You don't have to think about it anymore. You're just there, right? That's the thing that I want you guys to get with interactions like this, because you keep doing it, you keep pushing through it, pushing through the sludge, the rubble, right? This quicksand feeling. You keep doing it, and then suddenly you get an epiphany, you get an aha, you get a moment where you write it down, you integrate it, right? And it strengthens that person that you are going at. Okay? So, yes, you're going to feel nervous, but don't worry, because your nerves are not you. They're a byproduct of you. And there are certain things that you can do. Like, for instance, my hands shake, right? It's maybe a nerve issue or something like that. But also honestly, it's like excess energy too, as a energy healer. So my gym trainer said that he takes a certain supplement for that he's going to tell me. So I'm always looking for like the pieces of the puzzle, right? There's always next levels to this thing. And so if I find that's going to take down the shaking, I can really feel more confident going out, because nobody's going to be like, why is your hand shaking or whatever, So there's always these little things in the back of our minds that we worry about. What about the gap in my tooth? Or what about that chin strap that I used to wear in high school? Will they still like that version of me, or should I change my facial hair? Or what kind of hair do you think looks good on me? Is it like this or is it like that, right? We get so much caught up with our looks, bro, and what we're doing with them, that we miss out on the actual fun of the interaction. Like, forget all that stuff. That's just like fluff for the movie, right? It's like the fucking actor who's dressed up in all, Victorian era costume entirely from head to toe, and all these like buckles and jewelry and all this kind of stuff, but they can't even say hi. It's like, what good is that guy? It's like, what the fuck, right? That's just an anomaly that's not there to do anything, right? I remember last time I was out, I was just like talking to the bartender. She was kind of cute, man. And so I was just, she asked me for my number. I was like, what the fuck? So it's really about opening yourself up to a vibe that you create that night. You create the vibe of your night. You control the rhythm of the night. Okay? Your origin doesn't dictate your life. Shadow has been a fan favorite next to Sonic since his introduction. I'm just going through your things you wrote, Ryan. Yeah, me, a shaman, bro, just go have fun. If you want to add a spiritual thing to it, why not feel how it would feel to be grateful and having fun? Yeah, what would it feel like to be grateful? If you can't access the gratitude and you're contracted, what would it feel like? Give yourself at least the mental concept of it so you can lean into it further, right? I think that's valuable. And yeah, you don't have to make it super spiritual, but we've been talking about this every day, right, Ryan G? Like, number one, imagine as you go out, have a social animal, make it fun, and just do it, right? It's very easy to say just go out and have fun, but then in the moment, somebody's drunk throwing up, in your lap. And then you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I don't want this, right? How do I use my shamanism for this? This is fucking ridiculous. These people are fucking degenerates, right? Like, I'm way too old for these fucking kids, like going around not like we get into that state, literally though, right? So you have to bring yourself back into that mood Again, it's all about the mood of the setting, right? The set and the setting. The same with psychedelics when you're taking on a trip, right? You got to know the set and the setting. And if you have the set and the setting, you know that it's going to pick you up and move your energy through the place. And the fun will accumulate the more you accept what is happening. I'm telling you, this is a key. If you accept what is happening around you and you can laugh at it and actually amplify it or see the light in the situation, you're going to let it go, right? You're not going to hold on to that concept. The moment you're nervous, just say it out loud. Honestly, the moment you are anxious, you say it out loud. I'm fucking anxious right now. What the fuck? That's stupid, right? You just say it out loud. Yo, I'm fucking nervous to talk to you. What's up, player? Okay, you say it out loud. That's it. You've exposed it to the light like the Wicked Witch of the West that sees the sun and it dies. That's how your nervousness dies, is you express it. You don't depress it. A lot of people, they have thoughts in their head, but they depress it. They hold back, right? Overthinking is under feeling, so we must feel our way into presence. Make the moments golden by being gold, not gold plated. Walk in there like you're meeting long lost friends. Okay? That's not like a familiarity that it's like the rapport is going to be instant in that case. Some people are going to react weird. They're like, do I know you? Are you friends with us? Right? Like you're going to get that reaction sometimes. If you're just like, hey, what's up? Right? Instead of, hi, what's your name? It's total difference, right? It's all in what you don't say. It's like in the vibe, right? It's not even in what you say. You could be speaking in another language and still be able to communicate, like some kind of cool thing, right? Eh, excusez-moi, est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes? Je ne sais pas, right? I could start speaking French and it would even be like, okay, what the fuck? Like, but it still creates a vibe, right? It still creates like some kind of a powerful crescendo, right? Guido, what's up, man? Do you have any questions on socializing? It's a Friday night. On the west side. So I'm going out tonight. Ryan G, if you could be my accountability partner, if I ever feel fucked up, I'm gonna call you, okay? Just pick up for 5 minutes and I'll be back in the zone. And you can do the same for me if you choose to go out. But all the deities are pushing me to go out. So, hey man, gotta do it. I'm being forced to do it. Everything in my body is telling me no, don't do this. Trust me. Everything in my body is saying no, don't fucking do that. You've done it before. It's not gonna. You're going based on memories. You're going based on your mood right now. You're going based on your own perception right now. And that's the thing. When you push it and you're actually there, you can learn to adapt, man. You're an adaptable human being, are you not? So once you're in the actual place, that's when the magic unfolds. It's actually going to the place that you feel the resistance and fucking setting everything up and going, ordering the Uber, all that stuff, right? But once you're there, it's like, hey, I'm there. I'm here. I'm present. I'm aware, right? I'm wired into this venue right now. Like everybody, imagine if you were Sims characters and you had those fucking, green things, those green emeralds on your head, right? Imagine if everybody was like that and you walked in, right? It's like we look at people too realistically. You guys get that? Like that guy is not a bouncer, right? That guy's like a behemoth from another land. And you got to speak to that behemoth in a certain way that allows you to enter that club or go to that place, right? So it's like, hey, brother, how much is the pricing for tonight? Right? If you say it like that, or you can say it amplified, right? Hey, been here after a long time, man. What prices are you guys doing tonight? Right? So it's like it's a different energetics. Okay? You're going to have to look beyond and underneath and behind what is happening. Somebody might just be reacting to one of your deities. Somebody might just be reacting to one of your chakras that's overly active and they start moving and shifting and squirming in their seats or something. Somebody might be, be just getting a strange scent from you. Then they're like that, okay? It could be so many factors, but again, all you have to do is ease and get back into pure awareness. Okay? So all you're doing is just reminding yourself to stay aware, stay aware. What is the context? Stay aware. This is all a playground. Stay aware. Can you keep affirming that? That was then, now is now. Let's go. What's the newness here? What's the novelty here? And create those moments, those little pockets of fun. All right. All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found value in today's video. I'm going to start. I have a session soon, so I want to prep for that. And yeah, join the Telegram group. Okay, we have events every Monday and Wednesday, and we keep evolving, right, as a tribe. And today, for the adepts, I will be recording a quick MP3 file for you guys to listen to before you're out. It will also have subliminals underneath for socializing, okay? Peace. Much love. May we never be the same again. May the flow be with you. You already know. Hey, let's win. Because we're already winning.